All right, it's 1 o'clock and can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. How's everyone doing?
Okay.
Anything exciting going on? All right, well, it's Thursday and let's see what we have to talk. I hope you have some good questions for me because my agenda is short. So let's see. Everything is stable in the COVID world, except, nationwide, it's a mess.
Yes.
Locally, the numbers have gone up a little bit. Certainly not a spike, but it is an uptick. And, you can't tell the pattern until it's 7 or 14 days to see if it's trending up or just little ups and downs. But we've seen a little increase. We're running about 90 new cases a day in this county. Nationwide, we are hitting our daily all-time highs, which is scary. So on we go. Let's see. There was a new order this week that the Alameda County public health officers issued to all healthcare facilities. This applies to medical clinics, hospitals, home health, skilled nursing, residential care. Pretty much any healthcare worker you can imagine falls into this category. And the public health officials ordered that basically all healthcare workers must have a seasonal flu shot, with the only exception being a specific medical reason not to. And that has to be documented from their primary care physician. So no more personal exemptions, no more religious exemptions, no more philosophical exemptions. So I'm happy to say we're running about 99% here today, as a few people who had opted out of a flu shot, suddenly realized they had to. So we might have under 5 that are going to get exemptions from their doctors. So we have really good compliance. I'd say, 99% of our residents are also accepted the flu shot. So it's a very wise, savvy group. And let's see, I don't have too many more COVID updates for this week. Rena couldn't make today, but she told me we're about to make an offer to a beautician, a full-time beautician. So we're close. We're not going to share the name until they've actually signed the dotted line. Then we'll be sharing out about that beautician coming on board. So stay tuned, Mike Levy, and all interested in a haircut. That's my agenda today. Amy, are you ready? Do you have any updates for us?
Just want to remind everybody that tonight is Paul Jolly's poetry reading at 7 p.m. And then next week on the 11th at 3 p.m. we have a special Veterans Day video on Channel 64.
Hannah.
I would like to make a request that on Cubico and on any of the individual emails that people send out with regard to an event, that they put the direct link to the Zoom in the message. Having it be, in a number and then there's a password and whatever, it just makes it too complicated. And I think if every time you mention a meeting, either on Cubico or in an email, so easy for you to just paste that direct link, and it's a real frustration. I have missed meeting after meeting, spending half an hour looking to try to find out where that link was. That's my request. Thank you.
Is that doable, Amy?
Yes, the meeting password, and then also the link is already posted.
But when new communications and
The link-
announcements
the
go
link-
out,
Let me know where it isn't posted and I'll fix it.
Excuse me, the link is listed, but not the direct link, not the HTTPS that you can just click on and get there. Okay, that's what's missing.
I see. I'll try the link and see if it works.
I have been able to go straight from the Cubico to pressing that link. It's very straightforward. You just push it and you're right in. I'm not sure what you're missing, Hannah, but it's quite easy.
Uh, I don't think we need to get the real discussion here, but it's not on every one of them. It's only on some of them.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not going to those.
all right. Thank you. I'm sure we can.
Yeah, everything he goes to the appointment, we give a packet.
Okay, let's see. Robert, there was a little feedback there.
So,
Lorraine, do you have something?
I have a question. Can we go to the library? 11th floor.
and then there's another one.
Yes.
I think
Library's
the
always
regular-
open.
What's the status of the library?
Library is
It's always been open. Open,
Okay.
open.
It hasn't closed at all. You can go there anytime you like. It's always open.
Oh, sorry, I had to mute you, Lorraine, if you want to talk again. Go ahead and unmute, Lorraine.
I don't know what that was all about. I couldn't, people were talking. Okay.
Yeah, just clarifying that the library is open.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful
Lindy?
library.
Lindy, did you have something? Lindy Lee? Nope, okay. Vanjie, did you have something?
Oh, well, I could just mention that we'll be having our Hootenanny on Wednesday, November 16th,
February.
3 o'clock in the courtyard. And we'll have some interesting performers.
Sounds good. Nancy?
Nope.
No, you're okay? All right. Flossie?
No, I'm having difficulty hearing, especially you. There is a fuzziness.
All right, isn't the Hootenanny on November 11th?
Yes.
You're
Yes,
not-
it's on the 11th.
Okay, yeah,
November 11th.
yeah,
Thank you.
good.
Anyone
We
else
just
having
heard-
difficulty with my audio?
No, your audio is quite good, Daniel. Flossie, you might try turning the volume up. He doesn't sound fuzzy, I don't think.
I'm hearing him now, thank you.
Oh, good. Okay, actually, wasn't a meeting, it wasn't something else at 3 o'clock on the 11th mentioned, maybe by Amy or somebody?
Oh, no, not at 3, at 4. At 4, the Veterans Day celebration video. It's on channel 64.
Oh, on Channel 64. You mean that's a local production of ours, or that's?
Oh,
No, that's a video from YouTube. The
Oh,
video
it's a video from YouTube.
celebration
Okay.
of Veterans Day.
I mean, that overlaps with the Hootenanny if we go past 4, but no problem. Okay, thank you.
Let's see, that's Armistice Day.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's true. Vanjie, we should have a patriotic song or something. It's Armistice Day.
Oh, all right.
We'll give it some thought. So if someone has a suggestion, email me or Vanjie or both.
All right. Thank you. Ruth, did you have something? You're okay? All right. Just going to mute some people here. All right. I'm seeing Dawn on the line. Dawn, do you have any updates? And then we'll go to Joy.
No real updates. I know that we're preparing for weather tomorrow.
and through the weekend, so there's chance of rain. And also the temperature is going to be dropping. It's going to get a lot cooler. So just be prepared for that. Trying to wrap up the painting as much as we can before this weather hits. So I'm assuming they'll resume after the storm passes. So just take precaution. And as a few mentioned, the library on the 11th floor, it has remained open, and Susan and the committee has done a good job. Just remember to keep your mask and practice your physical distancing when you do visit the library. That's always important, but it has remained open, and it looks good. So if you need a break, check out the library.
All right, thank you. Joy?
This is probably for Don. Are you doing work on Crestmont Apartments? Because the noise level at times is very loud. And I know on Tuesday, they started around 7:30 in the morning, and it sounds like hammering and drilling and all kinds of things. Can you elaborate and tell us if something's going on?
Yeah, the apartment remodels have continued in Crestmont. There has not been a change. It might be a little bit louder today because they're installing the floor in the penthouse, 2607. So that's the top of the chain. So that noise is going to carry through. I was up there earlier. They're almost done. They got carpet to lay and a little bit more flooring, but yeah. And we checked on, we had a complaint from the fourth floor in Crestmont about noise at 7:30 in the morning, and we're unable to verify that noise. Our contractors don't start till maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock before we allow them to make noise. So if it's happening earlier, make sure you call the front desk, and we can send security a lot faster than one of us getting up there.
Because Tuesday it was at 7:30.
I talked to Shahid, and I wasn't able to verify who it was, but if you say so, then we'll just keep a better lookout. But we don't allow the contractors normally, we don't allow them to start before 8:45, 9 o'clock.
It definitely started, more like at 7, because it woke me up, and it sounded like it might have been on the 5th floor just above me. So, and I did call the front desk, and it didn't stop. So anyway, hasn't happened since.
Thank you. You're getting the hang of it, Ann.
Yeah, right.
Marion?
Yeah, I have a question for Don. I
Yes,
get
ma'am.
conflicting instructions about air purifiers or air filters. In fact, I don't know the difference. Is there such a thing as a filter that's also a purifier, or do you have to get 2 machines? And what's actually recommended? If we don't have specific lung problems, do we get enough fresh air and oxygen with just what's coming in the window? Or is it really recommended for all of us? And which is it, a purifier or a filter or both?
The air purifier has a filter in it. And if anybody's an expert in this field, please jump in. A HEPA filter is a filter that's used with a lot of air conditioning units or fan units, and that's probably one of the top of the line filters. There are other charcoal filters, but you don't need anything like that. If your apartment is shut, closed, and it's a little dusty, you may want to have a air purifier installed that circulates the air in your apartment, and that kind of takes the dust and smells out of it. But when it comes to these particular products, it's really personal choice. We can make some recommendations, and I think Zinnia and Daniel have recommended a few, but it's really up to you and a personal choice. If you go on Amazon, you can read the reviews or the satisfied customer reviews, and there are some really good ones. I know the one that Kevin has, and he's shared a couple of times, is a really good air purifier. But yeah, an air purifier has a filter in it, so it's 2 of the same.
And in addition to that, you change the filter regularly. So every machine will tell you whether you have to change the filter every 3 months or every 6 months or every year. So it depends on the brand, and then it tells you how often you change it.
And some of them come with a little sponge-like looking filter that they recommend you take out and rinse with warm water, let it dry, then reinstall it. So again, there's multiple types of air purifiers that you can purchase, but it's really personal choice.
All need air purifiers? I mean, what's the matter with the air we have?
There's no issue with the air right now.
Oh, okay.
How's that? No noise, no smoke. We're in pretty good shape, folks.
The air purifiers are usually helpful when the air is smoky, Bonnie and Marion.
Yeah.
Or for those who have chronic lung problems, and any dust in the air, makes it worse. So the purifiers remove the extra dust that, you and I can probably tolerate okay. Yep, it's an extra measure of comfort and for some protection.
I have a pretty small room. I don't know if I have room for something else.
Right. Probably not critical if you're not already in need. Other questions from the floor?
Just regarding air purifiers, for those consumer items and appliances and all, I tend to rely on Wirecutter which is a New York Times owned thing for testing products, a little like Consumer Reports. But I just looked up there. They had an article on air purifiers just last month, and in it they recommend something called the Koei as being the best. They've said it's been the best for 5 years, and that is around $180. But they have more in there. That seems to be about what they cost, though. It doesn't look like you can get a true air purifier for any much less money than that. That's all.
Thank you, John.
Well, I do have one other thing, if I may. I'd like to express my thanks and those of a lot of the guys, our minority of men here at Piedmont Gardens, to Mike Levy. Mike Levy organized the Men's Only Club, Men's Only Coffee Hour a long time ago. I got here about 5 years ago, and I've been going ever since. And it was the first thing I did here, and community sort of a thing. And it was a very nice thing, and it's remained nice. Unfortunately, with having to turn it into Zoom rather than person to person, I think it's kind of lost its appeal to a lot of people. And I don't want to, this is for Mike to say, not me so much, but the attendance has fallen off enough that the considerable work of finding speakers and putting it on and so forth or other, it doesn't seem worth it. So Mike announced this morning that we'll be suspending the men's club, I think probably for the duration of this lockdown. Maybe if there's some good reason for it, we could revive it once in a while, but it will no longer regularly be on Wednesday mornings. But again, Mike did a terrific job over the years with that. It was all his idea, and he's done all the work, and I really appreciate it. That's all.
Well said. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, I would certainly add my appreciation to Mike as well. I've been to a number of those events and really quite interesting speakers. So I hope at some point it can resume.
Thank you. Flossie? Flossie, can you unmute? Flossie, can you unmute?
Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought the men's club was a great idea because, for one thing, I could tease them, laugh at them, try to infiltrate them. And I did it out of respect and affection. I almost hate them to lose that little bit of solitude and fraternity that they had, because the women overwhelmed them, both in number, intelligence, and beauty. I'm so sorry that you lost it, guys. Take it back. Don't lose it. It was precious. And I have nothing to throw things at. Bye. Ruth
All right.
Campbell had something to say. Ruth Campbell. Ruth, where are you?
I'm here, but what do I have to say?
But I sent a message to you, something about meeting with the new residents.
Oh,
Yes.
well,
Bring that up now.
yeah, the social work group, when we met last Saturday, several people said that they feel since there are a number, about 14 people who have moved in since the lockdown began, it's very difficult for them to meet other people or know exactly what's going on. So we had proposed to meet one-on-one with them in the courtyard and to make appointments to meet with them and see how they're doing and see, if there's anything we can help with, or just to extend a welcome hand to them, because I think must have been pretty hard to move in the midst of this time when you're not naturally meeting people. So we would like to be able to do that if it's okay with everybody.
I think that would be great, Ruth. I know, having just moved here 2 weeks, I'm still at quite a loss at figuring out a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
So having a group and getting acquainted with more people to be able to call on to answer questions and just to feel more at home here. Although it's going well, I really would look forward to meeting, a number of people and being able to get questions answered.
We found it very helpful. We can't do this now, but years ago we did a big newcomers group for a group of people together, and it was very helpful. Things came up that a longtime resident just takes for granted, but a new resident doesn't know, and it's very helpful to exchange information. So I hope we'll be able to do this. Right now, we can only do it in very small groups, but I hope we can do it. Daniel, what do you think?
Yeah, if we're following, outside and the distancing, the precautions.
Yes.
So you can do that, respecting those rules, as opposed to, going into someone's apartment, masks off. Yeah.
No, we were talking about meeting. There are nice tables out there in the courtyard, and we can meet there.
That sounds safe. Yep.
But thank you.
Why can't we meet on Zoom?
Yes, you can visit Zoom.
Let me chime in here though, because Rena and I were working on meeting all of the new people on Zoom and with team members and also with other residents, whoever was interested in doing so. So I think we're all on the same page and looking for similar things. So we'll that one we will set up through Zoom and see that we can get as many of the new people on as possible, and then invite everybody else who wants to join in as well, including team members, like kind of what we used to do in a friendship room, introducing folks.
Yeah, I agree. Rena was working on that with Ruth, and
yeah.
Well, I agree that having that sort of Zoom meeting sounds wonderful, but I also would think that being able to meet with masks, safely, and right with people directly, not on my computer screen, would also be helpful. So I think if you can do both approaches, would be wonderful.
Yes, I think both would be fine. There's a difference between one-on-one sort of communication and then the Zoom communication. So
yeah,
Daniel, I'm not sure it's the right. Well, I started to interrupt my wife, but I'm not sure if it's what this is. I don't have anything to do with this, but it is possible for residents, a group of up to 4 residents, to meet outside as long as it's 6 feet apart and so forth. Isn't that correct? And masked.
Yes.
because it could be one old resident and 3 new residents, or 2 and 2, or or something like that, or 1 and 3 the other way.
That would be fine.
Okay,
I
good,
would-
thank you.
I have an idea.
Oh, hold
which
on, Marion's been waving here.
Yeah,
sorry.
I
Go ahead,
I
Marion.
think it's on the agenda for the Social Work Committee this Saturday at 4 o'clock. Ruth, am I right on that? That we
Yes.
were going to talk about the subject and see if we can make some specific recommendations.
Right, right. Mhm.
For both small groups and one-on-one or whatever
Yeah.
people come
Well,
up
I
with.
think now we know we can go ahead with it, so we can
Yeah.
schedule some visits.
Yeah.
Could I say some,
Can I- my turn.
may I make a
I wanted
comment?
to say something. I think it would be a good idea meeting with new people if we would bring pictures of ourselves so they know what we look like.
May I say something?
Yeah, Joyce.
The one thing that's concerning me is this weather is going to start changing, I'm afraid, think rather rapidly. So any plans that are to be made for gathering or even in small groups in the courtyard, you know, I think the sooner the better. Time is sort of the essence, because if we start getting a lot of rain and cold weather, it's going to be hard to have outdoor meetings.
I've been here 5 years and I haven't seen a lot of rain at all.
Well,
Any
it gets
rain.
cold.
Well, I'm from Michigan, so cold is cold. Can't
Yeah, I'm
scare
just
me.
telling Okay.
I recommend, let's pull out the winter gear and keep gathering outside.
Yeah,
you know?
down jackets are fine. Mm.
Yeah. Well, let's toughen up a little bit, right? It'll be worth it, I think. Mike, did you have something? I see you waving. We're not hearing you, Mike.
Do not, please, don't forget Crest. It's a slim little magazine now, but you can begin to see who's writing for Crest. You might want to send a note of your own to Crest. This is how you've been interviewed, I'm sure, but you might want to write about yourself and tell the community who you are and what you're interested in. And you can begin to make friends that way. Not tons of them, but maybe even one with whom you send messages through email or you speak on the phone. So I would encourage listening in on Zoom, even if you're not part of the membership. Come and be an audience. Come and listen to the poetry group. It's very nice. There are other things. There's music with Ian Scarf. You get to know people a little bit at a time, and then the right moment opens up and you say, oh, I know you, and you keep social distance. It's the beginning. It's not much, but it's something.
Okay. I think that was directed at new residents, right, Flossie?
See, what about that? Huh?
Your recommendation for new residents to get involved and
Yeah. It's tough these days. It really is. But we're not without hope, I say. Even with the elections.
Daniel, I actually have an announcement.
Go ahead.
A couple of weeks ago, and some of you will have seen it, a large piece of the Oakland shoreline was named after or dedicated to Judge John Sutter, our own John Sutter. And it was quite an event that we didn't hear about until it actually was in progress. But we do have the link, and so this coming Tuesday at 3 o'clock, we want to show part of that, not the whole thing because it's more than an hour long. But we'll show a part where the mayor speaks and Barbara Lee speaks, and John is in that piece of tape. And then afterwards, John Sutter will be on, so there's a time for questions and answers to ask him about his involvement with Park and Recreation and with protecting our shorelines. And he's been quite amazing in that work. So we wanted, also for John, we wanted to recognize that and acknowledge him and do a special event around that. So that's this coming Tuesday at 3 o'clock. So I hope people will come on and yeah, acknowledge him.
And he's walking too.
Yes.
He's walking too.
Yes.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
You're welcome.
I know someone wants to make a dining comment, but I'm waiting for Simon to come back in view of his camera. He's got an empty desk at the moment, so we will come back to dining. Renata, any last plugs for your project?
Yeah, I was hoping to leave it to the very end of this program so that that's what people have in their mind when they leave the meeting, but I can just as well say it now. As of today, we have only 5 more days to donate to the Team Member Appreciation Fund. The envelope needs to be deposited by the end of next Tuesday, and we're doing okay, but so far we're not doing fantastic. And as you know, it's very hard times out there and in here, so that every contribution is really appreciated. And as I said, you have 5 more days to do so, and I hope some of you will make what some of you have already done, namely make a second donation. It all goes into the same pot, and it gets distributed exactly according to the working hours of each of the team members. So please, if you find it in your heart, make a contribution, please. Thank you.
Thank you for what you have done in this. I just want to thank you and Dick for the work that you have done in it's Joe, and I'm just making a general thank you for your contributions.
Thank you.
I'm always impressed by how engaged our residents are, for supporting each other, for supporting the community, supporting the team members, running your own activities like you were talking about, Mike and the men's club and the poetry group. You all do so much. So it's really fun to see it, to be involved in it, from the Hootenanny all the way up and down the schedule. So really cool stuff. Zinnia, any updates for us before we wrap up?
Did you mention the temperature checking?
Oh, no, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, since we set up the screening at the front desk here at 41st, as you know, if you're coming back in the front door, we've been taking your temperatures. But first of all, I don't think we've found any resident with a temperature in 7 or 8 months.
Yes.
Secondly, we realize that, as you all come in during busy times, it's actually clogging the front entrance for you to get your temperature taken for probably no help at all. So we're going to stop taking temperatures of our own residents.
Hooray!
Now you say, what if I want my temperature taken? Sure, just come on up to the desk and ask, but just not when it's busy. We got to get people moved in and moved out without clogging, because then we're sharing the same air and we're defeating the whole purpose of this. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not necessary unless you request it.
And to add that if you're feeling sick, you can call the wellness.
Oh yes, yeah, if you say, well, I don't feel well, I want my temperature, please don't hang around the front desk. Go to your apartment, press your emergency button, or call the wellness nurse. Okay. I think that's all I got. Let's see. Is Simon back at his desk yet? Simon? No.
I tried to text him, but he haven't responded to my text that we need him. So.
Hannah. That was Robert. Got some audio issues. Hannah, did you want to throw out a question and we can have Simon get back to you?
Oh, I have another request, which is that on Sunday or whenever the weekly menu comes out, that a copy be put in the hallway where we sign up for lunch. It's so you don't know what soup it is or what salad it is or what's the dinner. Do you want a big lunch or are you going to get the full dinner or whatever? It would really be helpful if there was a copy of the weekly menu sitting out by the signups for the meals.
Got it.
See the menu on Cubicle? Can you see the menu on Cubicle?
I can't order when I'm on Cubicle. I mean, it's a question of, going by, there's the slip. Now, what's the day look like? Do I have to go back to my room, log on, go on Cubicle or look somewhere? It just would be very helpful to have it in the hallway right when I'm filling out the lunch menu.
Great.
And there's another thing about it. It says catch of the day. You don't know what kind of fish it is. And all Cubico says is catch of the day. It isn't until you get that little menu that they distribute after lunch that you actually see the fish.
Since the beginning of the shutdown, I have copied and posted. I'm a floor rep, and that's something they could do. I have copied and posted the menu on the mirror at in the hall where we put down for our lunches and all. It's so simple. Sometimes I can swipe an extra menu from a box. I know nobody's picking it up, but I can copy it on my machine. And I've been doing that for the 13th floor of Crestmont since the very beginning. It's kind of a no-brainer.
For dining comments in general, these sorts of things and other things, please, you're welcome to come to the dining committee, which is a week from today at 10:30 in the morning on Zoom, and I'm sure Simon will be there for that. So I look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, hey, if we solved all your problems here, you wouldn't need a dining committee, right?
The
That's a thought, Simon. Thank you.
The menu on Cubico does have the type of the dinner. It says lemon trout. So that's been updated.
Today, but not always.
Okay.
Varies.
Got it.
Well, we got to keep you, having some mystery in life, Joy. We can't reveal all the cards.
Pun
All right. Sorry, what?
Pun intended. I'm a bridge player.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. But I'll take credit for it. Okay.
That's funny. We don't always know what we're going to catch when we go out fishing.
Oh, cute.
All right. Any last comments or questions, concerns,
I have
jokes?
one more thing.
Yeah.
So I think there's been a book cart going around in Oakmont, and I think Susan Levy wanted to know if residents would like that to continue. It's where you can take a book and replace one if you'd like. Would you guys like that continue? Do you like the book cart?
Say that again, Amy.
So there's been a book cart in Oakmont going around for residents to either take a book or replace a book. Do you guys want that to continue?
It was only on the
Yeah.
8th and 9th and 10th floors, only assisted living.
Oh, for
Yes, and we would like to continue that, please.
They want it continued?
Yes.
Okay, well, we have to replenish it, so it'll be a week or two before that happens. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Susan.
All right. Anyone else?
No.
Thank you all. Stay safe out there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Take care of
Daniel.
yourself. Have a good day.